Good morning, guys. I'm down in the garden. I'm already sweaty. I've been pulling weeds, and I got to thinking, well, I really ought to shoot a video. I've not really brought everybody up to date on what I'm doing. As I've told you, I'm so far behind my normal schedule. My gardens normally would have been prepped last year, and they would have been prepped the year before that. But as I've said, when my wife was ill, I couldn't leave the house. I mean, she got that bad. So these gardens were just pretty well ignored. I did a little bit of stuff here and there, but I couldn't keep the gardens up. And then of course she got so sick towards the end of 2021, I couldn't even mow the backyard. I did manage to get out in stages and mow the front yard and the side yards, but that was it. I'm not telling you that to have you feel sorry for me. I'm just telling you why things are not the way they should be. Life happens, and don't ever worry about it. You know, there's always next year. If something doesn't do good this year, I'm not going to be concerned about it. I'm going to do the best I can, and I'll enjoy it, and I'm sure you will too. All right, let me show you around what I'm doing here. All right, as you can see, my chives have gone to seed here, and hopefully they'll be making seeds and spread a little bit better. This lettuce here is 4 Seasons lettuce, and I've been harvesting it. It's been wonderful. These little strawberries would be all right if I didn't have so dang many chipmunks. They've been eating the berries in them green. And this lettuce here is Butter Crunch, and most of those holes you see are not from bugs. That's from the hailstorm. If you go back and look at our Facebook page, Tennessee Mountain Garden, I actually videoed the hail coming down. Probably will put a little clip of it here to explain what happened. And then this, of course, is some romaine lettuce, and that's some little pumpkins that came up volunteer where I had discarded some pumpkins in the garden. Looks like I need to pick a few of these sugar snap peas to go in a salad, but I'm amazed that they're doing as well as they are. On the other side of my cattle panel here is my Siberian kale, and I've been eating it, giving it to the neighbors. It's just been wonderful. But it will soon turn bitter as the nights get warmer. So I'm taking it out, and unless I change my mind, I'm just going to put some summer squash on this side. Both zucchini, yellow crookneck, and maybe even a straight neck squash. Don't have any lemon drop seeds, but I'll probably lemon drop squash I call them, but I'll probably pick some of those up. Down here on the other side is the late lettuce that I planted, because these trees are going to keep it fairly shaded here, but it will get lots of afternoon sun. And this is a wildflower. My stepfather-in-law brought that to us ages ago, not this particular plant, but he brought me one plant. And that wildflower is beautiful when it's in bloom, but a tiny bloom. The pollinators love it. Now, when it blooms and the seed, it's kind of like a touch-me-not or something. Boy, it pops and seeds go everywhere. But there's the lettuce. And then that, and the fortress garden, I'll get to them, but I just don't know when. But I'll have it all done, so next season will be a lot better. Looks like I have another tame blackberry coming up there, and I had another one over there. I don't see it. Probably something's eaten it off, but I'll have to put some netting on my blackberry, but I should have plenty of tame blackberries this year. All right, now we go down to the other garden, and yes, I have more lettuce. That's romaine. Now this is one of my favorites. It's called May Queen, and it's going to have to be harvested, as you see. It just does not do as well in this heat. And I guess I could explain this. All right, you see my little outer fence, and then we go in about probably 3 to 4 foot, and then you see cattle panel, and that's that way all the way around the garden. That is my deer moat. If you put two fences together like that with space in between them, it keeps the deer out. I did not put that other cattle panel up until 2 days ago. And the reason I had to put it up was because I came out here and I had deer track everywhere in the garden. Why they left the lettuce alone, and this is more late lettuce. And you might say, well, why do you raise so much lettuce? You can't eat all that lettuce. You're exactly right. I can't eat all that lettuce. But there's nothing in the world that makes me happier than pulling this lettuce, washing it, putting it in gallon Ziploc bags, and giving it to my friends. Now, there's those onions that I've told you about. Yep, there's 500 onion plants down through there. There's 4 different varieties. They're doing well. Now, what I'm doing today is getting this back in shape. You see here, I've pulled most of the taller weeds, and I'm not going to try to take those roots out. I'm going to put those cardboard boxes there on top of it. Let me show you why we put cardboard down. This cardboard has been in this little aisleway here, a couple of weeks, maybe even 4. But I want to show you what a job it's done. All right, see all those weeds everywhere? Look here where I had cardboard laying down on the ground. It had smothered it out. And that is the whole purpose of making sure the cardboard overlaps and that you have no gaps. But I don't want to try to mash all of this down, so I'm going to pull that out. Now, to keep the garden from washing, because I have filled this in quite a bit over the last 2 years, I put straw bales down there. And I don't worry about it having chemical because it's not really up against the plant. And if it would keep the weeds from growing right there on that lower fence, I'd be happy with that. You need to be down here catching these chipmunks. Puppy, that pollen is doing me in off of that little tree down there. Well, we're getting some rain. It's Monday, May the 23rd. I didn't finish up my video, so I'm doing a video for it for the finish. I can tell you that I did plant some pole beans in there, and I came down here yesterday afternoon and there was chipmunk holes everywhere. I guarantee you they've dug every dang one of those bean seeds up and eat them. That's just the way they are. I did, of course, get some of my moneymaker tomato plants set out, and I've got them right here next to my little soft head May Queen lettuce. I just love that little lettuce. And then on this end, of course, I have my Paris Island romaine lettuce, which is still good. My onions are really finally beginning to take off. And I see down here I have one of the butter crunch lettuce that has already gone to seed, and I'll just let it finish seeding. It's far enough along now, I'm not breaking that off. And I do hope to have a few onions. I did fertilize them the other day with a weak solution of fish emulsion, and I planted several cucumber seeds here in this little hill, and I'm so happy they're coming up because I love to make homemade dill pickles. Now my favorite, of course, is to make lime pickles, which is a very sweet pickle, but being a diabetic, they don't go so well with my sugar blood readings. And over on this side, I set out some of my favorite tomatoes to can, and those are the pink German tomatoes. And I managed to get 6 of them. And I know this wasn't a lot. Oh, maybe they didn't get all the beans. I see a little bean popping through here and there. There's one right. There's one right there popping through. And it looks like I've got one popping up there. Maybe they didn't get them all. I did put quite a few bean seed in there, and if it all comes up, I've got to thin it anyways. Kentucky Wonder Brown pole beans, typically as a child, we planted them on little teepees, we called them, 4 sticks tied together, and you put 4 seeds at the base of each one. And I have known Dad to thin them down to 3. So, but of course on the back side, it's just right where it was. And I have come to one big final decision. I will get this garden ready, but I am not going to stress myself out and say I'm going to do it right away. I'll do it through the summer if I have to, and it'll be ready to plant some fall crops in. Life is just too busy sometimes to worry about, oh, I didn't get this done, I didn't get that done. I'm not going to go there.